Hi everyone. Today I would like to talk about data visualization, roughly. Uh, um, so I have a book from Richard Werman about information architect, and in there is, for example, the work of Peter Bradford presents as an example, the amount of calories. So this is a salad, and this is the salad dressing, 69 calories, and this is a glass of wine, how many calories, and then this is 2 slices of pizza. So it's very interesting because they are together. So there is a comparison. And then in that book, there is a very funny information which interested me very much. It's a line, and this line connects New York to LA to New York, 3,000 miles, and this is the amount of toothpaste you would use. Americans are using every day to brush their teeth. So really funny comparison. I have another book which is called 1 Million. I found it in a flea market, and I didn't know it was quite an interesting book. It's made just out of 1 million dots, and in there you have from 0 to 1 million dots, and as you turn the page, you arrive to a certain information. So here I'm in the page 400,000, for example. 400,007 US soldier killed in World War II, for example. So there are different historical information based on 1 million. I myself was interested about not really data visualization, but more kind of information design. And then I made a little book at Lars Müller Publisher, and about hand signs and how they are represented in different cases. Like this is, for example, a double spread that I like very much, about how you swipe your card, on the ATM machines. And then there is another one, another page where I talk about washing the hands, and that's the usage of the paper towel. So how come I'm showing this, and I'm showing Richard Werman? What's the connection? Well, there is not really a connection. It's very vague. Richard Werman, I believe, invented the TED conference, right? And there was this TED conference that really changed my life, which was with a guy showing how to wash your hand and fold paper towel and save paper that way. And I would like to interview this person. So let's see if he's here. So Joe Smith, welcome. Your name could be the one of the alter ego of a superhero, or maybe the fake name of a B-movie secret agent. You served as a district attorney in Umatilla County, and you're the former chair of the Oregon Democratic Party. You appeared to me for the first time on a TedX conference in 2012. There you were on a stage with a bucket of water and different kind of paper towels, and you were demonstrating a very simple way to save paper, to save trees. You were talking about the paper towel that we use every day to wash our hands. You were basically demonstrating one design problem and its solution. Your message was so simple. And since then, if we go on YouTube, the show have had like 4 million people looking at it. So I was looking at comments online. People are still passionate and still talking today about this video. You have been, some people say the 10 TED talks they should have censored and stuff like that. It's like it's really funny, and I'm more from the other camp. I'm one of your fans, and your appearance was so simple that you really resonated very strongly to me. So suddenly I felt a little bit less alone uh, in this unclear feeling that we as individuals, we can make a difference sometimes in our everyday habits. So when I am now in a restroom and I take one towel and I fold it very gently, always thinking of you, and then there is this big guy coming close to me and he's like pulling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he's in a rush, he makes like this, and we have this little power confrontation and he throws there 5 pieces of paper, and there I want almost to say him, wait, this is like a piece of tree that you're throwing. And my kids in school, same, they have those automatic machines and they go out very fast, and and we lose a big chunk of paper. So since then, and because of you, I'm not washing my hands the same way anymore. And I have a question. How did you get to the idea of that presentation?
Well, I discovered many, many years ago that, and I don't remember the day that I discovered it, but I know it goes back at least to 1980, and the reason, and I can explain that in a moment why I know it went back to 1980. That I realized that if you folded a towel in half and then used it to dry and used it completely, it really got the water off your hands. And I saw people using 3, 4, sometimes 5 towels in bathrooms. And I started thinking then, it would be wonderful if I could communicate this to folks, and I mused about it. And the reason I can date it in 1980, in 1980, I was a member of the Democratic National Committee Rules Committee for the 1980 convention to produce the platform for the Democratic Party. And I sponsored a plank that I tried to get into the platform against the MX missile. And I remember thinking that I might have more long-term influence on the future of America by telling them about how to save paper towels than I would in speaking about the missile, because I was going to lose, I was not going to be successful in getting my platform plank passed, although I came much closer than people thought I would. But anyhow, that's why I know the idea occurred. And it just occurred to me over the years. And then 8 years ago, my son Jefferson, who was then in the state legislature in Oregon, had in the previous year been given a talk at the TedX conference here in Portland at Cascadia College. And it had been so good, they thought it was the best they'd ever seen. They asked him if he would take responsibility for finding 1/3 of the day for the 2012 TEDx program. And he asked me if I would be willing to do one. And I thought, sure. And when I first said yes, I thought, I know just what I'm going to do. I have some very strong thoughts about what is troubling our democracy. And I had about a 12-minute thing that I could present on who really needed. And I thought about that, and I thought, but this would be a chance to tell people how to save paper towels. This might be your only chance. So I decided to do it. And the TEDx's, of course, are not automatically produced by TED. They review them all. And then the headquarters decides if there is any TEDx presentation, which they should put on their general website. And I made the cut. And that's That's how it happened.
Yeah, that's a beautiful story. So you had no idea that it will spread out like this, right?
I was, as far as I was concerned, I was reaching 500 people that day. That's about how many people were present.
Yeah. So let me share the screen. I want to show you something because we have some common interest. Um, um, I prepared a little. Hold on. I prepared a little video. No, a little. Do you see those paper towel here? Do you see that?
I do.
Okay, so those are the double spread of a book that I designed about hands representation, graphic representation, and it's not new that we have to wash our hands, and I guess I was already very sensitive to hands drawing and hands representation, and I'm showing here a few double spread with that we all know, we see that every time when we wash our hands. So this is what I think you did, maybe unconsciously. You proposed a design thinking problem, and you say, okay, you define the problem, and then you ideate the idea, and you made a prototype, and you're showing your test in front of people, and then those 4 million people who have seen your video have maybe changed something. So you're talking about paper and a certain amount of paper, and how
First, I have a question about your model. Is
yeah.
that a Mobius strip?
Yeah, I found this online. It's not from me. I went online and Google design thinking, and I thought it was very interesting, this kind of idea of coming back and forth with in iteration, So let me so this amount you're talking about, 13 billion tons of pounds, 13 billion pounds of paper used per year, right? In America. So how you came to this amount?
Well, I can tell you how I would tell my figures. I went online to see if anybody had done a study of how many paper towels were used every year. And I discovered that it was a Seattle, I think it's associated with the University of Washington, but anyhow, it was from Seattle. And there they had the figure. And the figure that they had was 114 million 600, no, 144 billion 610 million towels per day. That's how many towels were used per day. And I then took the then population of the United States, which was about 314 million, and just did the math. And that's how I came out with what I had. And of course, because I assumed the entire population, this is somewhat overstated because babies would not be drying their hands, but it's still defensible.
Yeah. No. It's perfect for me. I mean, we're not very super close to. We don't need to be completely precise. I think it's very important that through your story we feel, the need of understanding. Let's watch a little piece of the video, and let's watch it.
People typically take 2 or 3. There's the one that cuts it that you have to tear off. People go 1, 2, 3, 4, tear. This much, right? There's the one that cuts itself. People go 1, 2, 3, 4. Or there's the same thing, but recycled paper. You have to get 5 of those because they're not as absorbent, of course. The fact is, you can do it all with one towel. The key, 2 words. This half of the room, your word is shake. Let's hear it. Shake. Louder. Your word is fold. Again. Really loud. Okay. Wet hands. Shake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Why 12? 12 apostles, 12 tribes, 12 zodiac signs, 12 months. One I like the best. It's the biggest number with 1 syllable. Trifold. Fold. Dry. Cuts itself. Fold. The fold is important because it allows interstitial suspension. You don't have to remember that part, but trust me.
Okay, so, and then I went online again, and I want to again share a little moment here where we are talking about the paper and the interstitial suspension. And you know what? I Googled interstitial suspension and you come on the top. Again, like after, I don't know, 4 million, whatever.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Huh?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then people, so the towel makes it effective because it's and then so that they're naming you again, and then you say people also ask, and then what is interstitial suspension, and then Smith said that folding the towel makes it more effective because, and when I went online, and there are like some people, even like a few years ago, they asked a physicist settled the debate for good. Joe Smith, an advocate for practical paper towel use, once gave a TED talk, and he proposed a simple method that allegedly require only 1 sheet. And they talk about, you know, they say, I asked MIT scientist Alex Kloss to enlighten me with some paper towel science. The physics of hands drying involves water being transferred from the hand to the surface. It's so funny. So many people are really, they keep talking about your talk, you know, it's really funny. So I tried, since I'm one of them, obviously, I tried to understand and to try to visualize what does it mean, 571 million, you know, and I made a little visualization. It's very simple. It's super simple. First of all, how can we visualize a billion? And a billion is this big square. Do you see it? Do you see it? Okay, the big white square, and then the tiny little dot on the corner is a million. And we have here 1,000 millions, right? And then on the left we have 13 billions paper towel. So it's per year, I guess, in USA, usage in USA. And then the number that you bring in, 571, 230 million pounds of paper would be actually not that much, but it's important, I think, to remember what we're doing every day. So yeah, I don't know if you want to comment on that.
I have one question. The 13 billion was not pounds, that was number of towels.
It was what?
That was number of towels.
Okay. So I have to wait. Okay, so okay.
And how I found the weight was I had a roll of paper towels, and it was 200 towels, and I weighed it, and it came out to 2 pounds, and so that was easy. And so that's how the math. But so the 13 billion was not pounds. That was number of towels.
Okay,
The number of pounds that could be saved is 500 million.
I would remake my calculation. I would remake my calculation.
Very important.
So I wanted to go back to see a little piece, a last little piece of your show, if we can, and it's a little bit later.
There's now a real fancy invention. It's the one where you wave your hand and it kicks it out. It's way too big a towel. Let me tell you a secret. If you're really quick, and I can prove this, this is half a towel from the dispenser in this building. How? As soon as it starts, you just tear it off. And it's smart enough to stop, and you get half a towel. Now let's all say it together. Shake, fold. You will, for the rest of your life, remember those words every time you pick up a paper towel. And remember, 1 towel per person for 1 year, 571,230,000 pounds of paper. No small thing. And next.
So, so you are, yeah, you want to comment on that, or?
I should, this might be a good time to tell people that if they want to see this in a less disjointed way, just Google Joe Smith paper towels, and there I am.
Yeah, I will do that, definitely. I always do that. I just wanted to show you one more things that I discovered, since we're talking about paper and basically trees, right? So that, you know, maybe you wanted also to remind the people that the trees are sort of a lung of our planet. We have to remember where it comes from, and then that they are through photosynthesis producing oxygen to us. So that's why it's important to have all of that. And look what I found. This is a very interesting sign that I found actually in a museum, in the toilet of a museum in San Francisco. If someone figure out to make an infographic, an instruction according your lecture, because I think I recognize it, because you talk about shaking your hands 12 times. There they say fold 1 paper towel in half. You say 3 times, right?
No, just once. Just once. Just in half is enough.
Okay.
Although if you do fold it twice, and it works very well, but just in half works very well, because that's big enough to cover the hand. It's still big enough to cover the hand.
Yeah. So you see, so me as a designer, you know, and I loved your presentation. I think there was something very visual in your presentation, but I had the feeling we need to make, and that was I was trying to do, you know, to make it more understandable. And I was wondering, you know, how it is possible. And I just wanted to show you a funny a drawing from someone else, actually from the person who it's a book of the person who invented the TED conference, Richard Solwerman. And in this book, it's not from him, or maybe it's from him, he's showing a line between New York and Los Angeles, which is 3,000 miles. And this is the amount of toothpaste that Americans are using every day. So we need to find a way to visualize your story, but at least it came again somewhere by instruction manual and so on. This sign should be everywhere.
I have to chuckle with the toothpaste. A lot of this probably goes to the fact that I was brought up being taught to be frugal. And I am also frugal with toothpaste. I have discovered that if you move the toothpaste dispenser rapidly across the brush so it's fairly thin, you still have plenty of toothpaste, but the tube lasts about twice longer than it used to before I learned to do that.
Oh, okay. Well, I think this is exactly the theme of a next TEDx conference. And I really would like to thank you so much for your time today.
I should also tell you that if I had a chance to do it again, I would change the presentation. And there's a story that's worth sharing.
Okay.
One of the neat things about this was that I received contacts from people around the country. And one of them was from a kindergarten class in Manhattan, New York. And they had done it, and they asked if they could talk to me by way of Skype. And so I spent a lovely several minutes with that class over Skype, seeing the students. But they had discovered something. And that was that if after you dried your hands, you rolled the towel, it got the last little tiny bit of moisture, if there was any, off your hands. And they were right. And so I have given the talk to a school here and to a company here. And now I would say, shake, fold, dry, and roll.
Oh, that's nice.
And it does even a better job. Thank you,
so
kindergarten class in Manhattan.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for your time, Joe.
It was fun. Thank you for
really
doing this. This is delightful, JB.
Yeah, it's really a pleasure. It was really a big honor to meet you in person. Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye now.